Okay, it is 5 o'clock. It is 5 o'clock, and we are live. We are live. And as usual, my glasses were foggy, but I tried to clean them. I don't know, these plastic lenses just can't get them the way they need to be. So, we are live. Let me just double check here on the iPad, but we really don't have to double check because it's just been 100% reliable since we upgraded our equipment. There we go. Stig's in the house. And K-Wallet is 66, whatever that is. Please get usernames that are easy. Lance is in the house. That one's easy. Stig's in the house. That's easy. The Applegate Experience is in the house. Purple Stunner. There you go. And Kyle is in the house. Stig's all over the place, as is the Applegate Experience, all over in here. And Kyle says, hey, Stig, how are things? And that was at 5 o'clock. That was right when we were going live. We were right on time today. And let's see, Carlos is in the house. Do have an update on David SW. We sent a nice email. Brianna sent it. I looked at it, and it was a very nice email. Very nice offer for an arrangement. And he just said no. Straight up no. No counter, no discussion, no phone call, no nothing. Just a flat out no-fly zone. So no dealing with David SW. Carlos highly recommended him, and we gave it our best shot, but he doesn't want to play ball. So we'll keep looking. We'll try to find a gray market AD or whatever you want to call these resellers, these folks that sell a lot of Rolexes. We'll try to find one that wants to play ball. Maybe that will happen. Let me stop this playing on the preview here so I'm not using extra bandwidth that I don't need to use. So that's the update on that. And today, Apple did have their event, and they talked about the new Apple Watch coming out. And I think they talked about a new iPad. But I don't think it was anything earth-shaking. Maybe somebody can let me know in the chat if you know if there was anything earth-shaking. Maybe we should get one of those education model iPads for Bree to do some. She could probably create some music on GarageBand on that to use for some of her dance videos. The GarageBand works really well on the iPad. Applegate Experience says 50 Shades of Gray markets Apple. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay. He's a hipster. He's hip on all the latest stuff. Let's see. Kevin D says, does Bree have a Rolex? Would she have to have a Rolex? Would she consider a GS? Well, see, that's the thing. I don't know. They don't have that many ladies GSs. Yes, I think she would consider it, but I know Steve very rarely has that many in stock. I don't think they have much of a focus on ladies' watches is the issue there. She can talk about APPL Stonks, STONKS. Not sure what that is, Applegate Experience. Let's see what else. Let's go through some of the tabs. Get rid of some of these old tabs that we don't need any longer, at least for now. So that tab's blank. It doesn't even have anything loaded in. Let's get rid of that. And we won't get rid of my Grand Seiko page. We'll leave that tab open. That's the page I have on my website that talks all about Grand Seiko, CraigShipp.com/Grand Seiko. We'll leave that tab active. And what's this one? Oh, this was that watch on Chrono 24. That's still looking pretty attractive at $3,100. That's a good looking piece, and I think Bree liked that dial as well. It's very attractive. So we'll keep that active for now. Let's see what this other tab is. Oh, this is her website, BreeFitDance.com. We'll keep that tab active. Let's check and see what this next tab was. That was a Lucchese boot. We'll get rid of that. Don't need that. And this was a titanium Omega in titanium, which was really a good deal. If somebody likes that, you know, the dull titanium, I'm not a fan. I like the polished titanium like Grand Seiko uses, but some people like that other. That's a good deal. Let's see what else we've got here. And this was a tapestry dial Datejust that somebody asked about. And yeah, I think they're cool. I do like the tapestry dial, and that, of course, is a 6-digit unit. I think they're cool, but we'll close that out for now. Just kind of reviewing, folks, here what we've been going over. And there's the trails we hiked the other day. Don't need to show that. Oh, there's that picture of the lovely lady Bree wearing the 002 stunner, the 002 18-karat gold stunner on wrist. The watch that I have on wrist as we speak, the 002 stunner. We'll close that one out. And let's see here. Here's that limited edition 2018 model Grand Seiko that a subscriber recently bought from Steve. Steve sold it new in 2018, took it in on trade, and then a subscriber here on the channel purchased it and loves the watch, and I don't blame him. It's a beauty. And let's see we'll close that out for now. Let's see what the next tab is. Oh, this was that Crador, that 18-karat gold Crador. Man, that is looking better and better all the time as a dress watch option. One possibility would be for the lovely Lady Bree to wear that as a dress watch when she dresses up to go out on the town, and to have like something like an Apple Watch for sport purposes. That would be a 1-2 punch combo. I'm going to leave that tab active, folks. I'm going to leave that tab active. Make sure that's in my favorites on Chrono 24, because that is interesting. I think Lance found that one. Okay, and this is the watch, the aforementioned watch that was on David SW, and he doesn't want to play any ball. He does not want to play ball. So for now, we'll close that tab out. Close that out. And here is this is the one that had the funky looking bracelet that I don't understand the deal with this bracelet. If you look at closely, see, it looks like all those along the bracelet there, all the links, it looks like they're all got holes drilled. It doesn't look like an actual Jubilee, but it has the crown on the clasp. Can somebody fill me in? Did Rolex ever make a bracelet like that? I've never seen such a thing. Very, very unusual. Let's see here what else I can show you. Here is the front shot of it. Okay, the front shot. So, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting situation. We'll leave that open for now, just in case anybody wants to discuss it. And this was another Datejust that we talked about that is very interesting. And I think I added that to my watch list. If not, I'll make sure that it is. Let's see here. Yeah, it's already added. So we'll close that for now. Go back to the diver for a quick time check. And then here is a red grape unit. Here's a red grape unit that was on Chrono 24. We'll close that one out for now. And here's another red grape unit that was more affordable, and that is on eBay. Close that out for now. Covered a lot of ground in the last show, folks. We sure did. And this was that strange 18238 with the polished lugs. And we'll close that out. And then this interesting Omega. It's interesting Omega. But I don't think that Bree had much interest in that. Let's close that out for now. And the gold, the gold stunner, the gold stunner. We're waiting for somebody to step up and buy that one for Bree, but we'll close that for now. And here's a steel and gold, steel and gold stunner. Very interesting. So we'll close that one out for now. All right, let's see. And we had, this one was the one that had a funky gap there at the end link where the bracelet meets the end link. That was kind of unusual there. And then this stunner here. So Yachtmaster is definitely interesting. Very, very interesting. Yachtmaster. And that's it. We are caught up. Just like that, we're caught up. I'm going to check the email, see if there's anything new coming in. Nothing new yet. Okay. All right, let's get caught up on the comments here. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you, Craig? Okay. I don't even know if GS makes a true lady sport watch. Good point. Very good point. Carlos says, I'm pretty sure we have already discussed today's topic before, but I might be wrong. The Applegate Experience TA. Oh, you mean the... Yeah, the thumbnail is about the gold stunner. The gold stunner. The reason I put that... the reason I put that is somebody posted a steel Rolex for sale, a sub for $20,000 on one of the forums, and a whole bunch of people were on one of the Rolex pages, and a whole bunch of people were saying, "Oh, that's a highway robbery. That thing's worth $12,000 at the most," and blah blah blah, you know. And then I had to chime in and said, "Yeah, for that kind of money, if you're a good negotiator, you could probably get yourself a gold stunner like this one." And I shared the photo of this watch. And so, you know, that caused some flack. So then, yeah, I figured we would talk about a gold stunner for daily use now. For daily use, I think we have discussed that this is the way to go. The 002 is the way to go. The 002 stunner is the way to go. Whoops. I think what we should do is we should have Carlos call in. And we should find out what's going on down in Panama. We should get a live report and find out what in the heck is going on in Panama. Meanwhile, we've got an email here to look at. Here we go. Grand Seiko Elegance Collection. And that one is automatic. Okay. And it is 27.8 millimeter, thickness 11.2. Interesting. Functions. It's water resistant to 10 bar. Screw case back, but it doesn't say screw down crown. But maybe that doesn't matter. You know, that might be a possibility, something like that. Maybe we can't discount the possibility of a Grand Seiko. I'm showing it. Okay. A Grand Seiko. Maybe we can't discount that. Sent an email for possible GS. Okay. Isn't that Crador 35 mil too big for... Let's check. Let's double check the size of the Crador. Let's double check here. That's a very good question. It looks like, though, it has a, fairly compact lug-to-lug, so that helps. But let's see here. 34 millimeter. 34. That might just fly in right under the radar. It might work, given the lug-to-lug. Remember, she claims she tried on a 40 mil Apple Watch. Now, that's a different dimension, right, the way those are measured. But a 34 mil, nice and trim on the wrist with a short lug to lug, that might work. That might very well work. So, yeah. And at that price, I think it could be resold if she doesn't. I think you could get out of that at some point. An 18 karat gold watch for $1,500, that's not bad. No deployment class, that's a deal breaker. Well, but see, Kyle, if she's wearing it occasionally, see, the idea with that would be an occasional watch. That would be, you know, when she's dressing up to go out on the town, and she'd put that on, and it would be, you know, she'd have something else to wear as a daily piece. Absolutely. Absolutely, I don't think that would be a daily piece. Let's see. What's the problem with the white dial OP for $3,100? Great deal and perfect for her first luxury watch. Not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. But we don't do things hastily here. We measure 7 times and cut once because this is a big step for her to have basically a lifetime watch. So, yeah, we'll take our time and try to wrangle a deal. You know, if we can find somebody that wants to step up and help out a little bit on the lovely Lady Brianna's mission, then that will be helpful. Fisto Bowser's in the house. Are you guys going to get matching grape doll oyster perpetuals 26 and 39? Thermont Neighborhood Super 8 Yachtmaster. There you go. G Poo says, Craig, thoughts on new colors of the OPs? I think they're a little bit over the top. I'm not a big fan of some of those colors. I think they look a little bit cartoonish. I think I would probably go a different direction if it were me. Kyle's in the house. The sales rep I deal with at the Rolex AD here actually has the grape oyster perpetual. Okay. See if he'll sharpen up his pencil. The problem with ADs is they can't advertise, so they can't I couldn't work a deal with them where we help promote them a little bit and you know, they give us a really good deal on the watch because they can't really do that, right? That's where a gray market dealer could come in where they could actually, we could do some horse trading with them possibly, but can't really do that with an AD. Send an email, GS for Bree. Okay, I think that might be the one we looked at. We'll take another look. Craig, were you trolling the Rolex fanboys with the 002? Sometimes I do that. Yeah, sometimes I do that. Any good, bad reviews on Leica? Leica cameras? I wouldn't go that direction. I bought Sony, and I would get on the list for a Sony A7S Mark III. I think that's going to be a fantastic camera, and as soon as one is available at B&H, I'm going to snatch it up. I'm not going to pre-order it. I'm going to wait till they're readily available because I want other people to get them and do some testing. I'm checking here. Somebody just freaking spammed me. I thought I had that crap blocked. Jeez. How in the hell they got through all my technology here? It's not even letting me delete it. That is really nasty. Okay. So I get a text message and it won't even let me delete it. Ah, boy. Let's see. Bree needs a GS with the discount. I have a bad blister, so I can't walk much. Yes, you have to be very, very careful, Bree. You're going to have to make up for it by doing more arm work, more curls, do extras, and on push-up day, do more push-ups. Just really, really make up for it with other forms of exercising, and definitely wait until that blister heals. Wait until it heals. It's actually on the front pad of your. It's not on the heel. It's on the front part, the padded part there of your foot. Yeah. Yeah, I think that those socks you had were very marginal. We got some new socks, so hopefully this will solve that problem going forward. Craig, if your Prius were to spontaneously combust, what car would you replace it with? Probably another Prius. I've had great luck. I mean, it has been a fantastic car, and probably another Prius. And by the way, you buy like a 10-year-old Prius, you can get a lot of car for the money because they don't hold their value that well, 10-year-old ones. If you find a nice garage kept one owner unit, you can do pretty good. I think that's what I would do. 10-year-old garage kept cream puff and just go with it. Send a link to a stunning GLC dress watch. Okay, we'll look. We will look. Let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. Jaeger-LeCoultre Ultra. Here we go. Okay. Looking pretty interesting. Looking pretty interesting. Nice lugs, nice case design. Very attractive piece. Nice and trim. And again, for occasional use, I don't mind a standard clasp. We would want to get a strap that would center properly and all that, but those are easily replaced, and we can get them. Oh, this is a deployant. Oh, whoa, even more interesting. Even more interesting. Wow. Not a big fan of the 4 screws holding on the back, but this is an automatic, so you're hopefully not going to have to open it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you better hope it's in good running order and all, because to get this puppy serviced would probably not be cheap. I think it's interesting. Wonder how you operate that deployant. I don't see buttons on the side. Do you lift up on it? How do you operate that deployant? Maybe somebody can share in the chat. Very trim. Very elegant. Let's see the size of this. Let's add that to the watch list for sure. Watch is in good working order and will come with a 1-year written warranty. Okay. We're 34 mil, so it's 34 mil, so it might fit her. It looked like it had a fairly trim. It says screw down case back, but it had 4 screws. I guess they're calling those 4 screws a screw down case back. So interesting. 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 Very, very interesting, folks. I think somebody should scarf that up. Somebody that doesn't have a gold stunner should think about snatching that puppy up. Good find, Lance. Stig's in the house. Craig, oyster petrol grape seems a great choice for Lady Brand. I know this is a digression. I have this one question. How was your experience with, I guess you meant Packards. I think they focused with Fusion. In other words, you're saying they joined with Studebaker. Yeah, the Packards were a great car. Most purists like them up through the straight 8 era. I think 54 was the last year of the straight 8. I think they went to the V8 in 55. And then, 55 and 56. And then they made the Packard Caribbean, with the torsion suspension and all that, 55 and 56. So they're kind of interesting. But I think most purists like the straight 8 cars. And going back, of course, the Packard 12. They had a 12-cylinder back in the day. they were very well-regarded cars. I mean, a lot of the movie stars and so forth and affluent folks had Packards. They had a very good reputation. Their advertising slogan was "Ask the man who owns one," right? But they kind of lost their way there in the mid '50s, early '50s, late '50s. I think after the war, anything made after the war was kind of downhill for them, for whatever reasons. So they went away. Let's see. The PV industry is up and coming. Barker Solar, Cherry Lane Associates. Where do these people come up with this stuff? Oh boy. Fisto Bowser sent a photo of what it seems you want Bree to look like, Craig. Kyle Jett, has Bree ever expressed an opinion on whether she would rather have an auto or a quartz? She said right there in the chat, probably an auto. There you go. JLC Stunner says Kevin, probably an auto. Yeah. Yeah, the auto, if you're going to wear it every day, the auto is the way to go, absolutely. But an occasional use watch, I think the quartz is an interesting thing. That's what I liked about the quartz Stunner that I had, is I could just grab it and go, and that worked. Yeah, I think that Bree is gonna pass on this look. I don't think she's going to go for that look. No, I think that's a hard no on that one. Yeah, Bree is all about elegance, class, style, beauty. I think that kind of doing what we just saw to a female body is sacrilege. Sacrilege, I say. Okay. And of course, as you know, I am the ultimate say. I have final word. Lance is in the house. Craig, what do you think of Edsel cars? Yeah, I think that was a disaster too. I think I would pass on those. Carlos says, Bowser, do you have a wrist shot at Trump's rally with Trump in the picture? Mustang Will, hello from the Smoky West. Okay, they're burning things down out there. And Bree says, oh my gosh. And Carlos says, I'm very worried about Durr. I hope he joins and give us an update about his recovery. Yeah, I mean, what he's been out of the saddle here for a while. Briefit dances in the house, only toning my body, overdoing it. LOL. Not, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a right way and a wrong way for a female to condition herself, and Bree's going to do it the right way. Let's see. And the Frederick Hub says, hey, Craig, great to see you're doing well. Kyle is in the house again. He says, what's wrong with Durr? Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. I think maybe he's working a lot. But do tell. If anybody knows, do tell. Lance is in the house. I think the Edsel was the wrong car at the wrong place, though it had many good features. There you go. Straight 8 engine, yuck. Nothing like needlessly having to extend the front end of a car for straight 8 V8 all the way, says Leon. Good morning. I tell you though, those Packards, talk about running smooth and quiet. I mean, my gosh, those things were amazing. And by the way, an inline 6 or an inline 8, they're done right. They have better longevity than a V8 because of the all of this action. It's more wear and tear down there at the crank with those two pistons where they come together on the crank and so on. So inline 6, like for example, any really heavy duty generator is either an inline 4 or an inline 6 engine usually. They'll almost never put a a V engine in those things. So, and a lot of heavy-duty commercial power plants and so forth, a lot of them are basically inline engines. I think even the huge diesel engines that power ships and things like that, I think they're usually inline construction. Now, there might be several of them, right, together, but they all go one piston down onto the crank at one place, right? Not two going together. So it's just much more rugged. Rugged, folks. Rugged stuff. Tim's in the house. You and Bree would like this story. My old tennis coach got COVID while in the hospital for a hip replacement. He's a fit 95-year-old. He survived. The message is lead a healthy life. There you go. Stowe Bowser says, sent in the wrist shot with Trump in the background. You really have to zoom to see him. Okay, we'll take a look. And Bree Fit Dan says, hi, Kevin. Carlos says he did something tonight that he regretted, nothing really serious. Oh, it's a recent, so he's got a recent injury? Uh-oh. Frederick Hub, any photos on the Flickr of an attractive Studebaker? I don't know if I have one. A friend of mine had a Studebaker Hawk back in the day. And it might be in the background of some of the photos that I took at his place, but it wouldn't be the primary focus of the photo. He had several Packards also, including a Patrician with factory air conditioning. 1953, I've showed it on the channel here before. 1953 Packard Patrician with the aforementioned inline 8 and factory air conditioning. Let's see what's going on. Okay, did Durr buy another Tudor? Okay, here's the wrist shot. Here's the wrist shot. Oh, yeah, we can see him easily. We can see him easily. He's on the podium there in the background. Absolutely. This is a peaceful protest. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. There you go, folks. Only on this channel. That's what I suspect. Must have been really drunk. So he was drunk and he purchased a Tudor. Oh well, that's what happens sometimes. And sometimes when they're drunk in Vegas, they end up buying a Tudor. I understand there's a big Tudor dealer in Las Vegas because there's a lot of suckers there. Let's see. Nice, Bowser. I will call to Ivanka so you have a better seat next time. Yeah, he's got to get closer. What the heck is with that? I mean, come on. He's a VIP. He should have been right up at the front. He actually should have been on stage with Trump. Yeah, what's going on with all that? He's getting no respect. That's no respect at all, as Rodney Dangerfield would say. Let's see. Hi, Carlos. Are you able to Skype into it? Yeah, what's going on? We need a live report. We need a live report from Panama. Oh, boy. Oh, yawning. I shouldn't show that on camera. Oh, boy. Okay. So you're saying we'll share a seat and she'll sit on my lap. Oh, my gosh. Come on, guys. Let's be a little bit more classy than that. Come on. I mean... It'd be a good thought though. What the hell? Stig's in the house. I agree. The Etzel indeed was different. There were many jokes about the front grille, but I think he meant say nothing more, or Craig will take away my wrench. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I think the Etzel was kind of one of those failures. So there's that. Oh, there's Carlos calling in. Let's get this up here. Let's get this up on the computer.
Hello,
Here
Craig.
we go. All right, hold on. Let me get my headset here so I can hear you. All right, we'll get a report from Panama. What
Hello,
time
Craig.
is it there now?
How are
What?
you?
I'm doing good. What's your local time?
My local time is 1 hour less than you. It's half past 4.
Okay, good. Well, it's still
Yeah,
very sunny there, very bright.
yeah.
And what's the temperature there now?
Yeah, should be around 29 Celsius or something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
around that.
So very
It's pretty much.
comfortable. Very comfortable.
Yeah, yeah. At the middle of the day, sometimes it's a bit more hot, but with having a fan, or you are fine, really,
Yep, yep.
really. At this time of the year is more humid, but yeah, but the weather is good from my point of view. I really like it.
Are you wearing the doxa?
Yes, yes, I am. I am wearing it.
Well, there you go. There you go. No issues whatsoever.
No, no, I am really happy with it. Anyway, I hope to get my other watches. I am still on the mandatory quarantine time, and tomorrow is my last day of quarantine.
Fisto Bowser asked Craig, "What would you buy as a weekend cruiser?" I would definitely get a convertible. So depending on the price range that you're looking at, if you want to go really affordable, you could probably buy an early Mazda Miata convertible, like about a 1990 model. You get one in mint condition, garage kept, one owner type of thing. You probably buy one for 8 grand. If you want to spend more money than that, I would buy a 1963 Impala SS convertible with a floor shift and bucket seats. You're probably going to have to spend 50 grand for that, maybe more, to get one in nice shape. So, and then there's a whole bunch of options in between those two. But the 63 Impala convertible, that's just a really solid, good car. Get one with the 427 with the dual exhaust, factory dual exhaust, and that would be a good one. But then the problem you've got is any of those carbureted cars don't like the gas with the corn in it, and so you could have some carburetor issues. So you might even have to convert it to fuel injection. So there are all those issues. So there you go. There's your answer. And an S2000 Honda, that's a possibility, but those you kind of sit in the floor. The riding position is not as comfortable as the Miata, in my opinion, and you spend more money for it. So I would just get the Miata if you want something like that. You'd be good. Now, if you want to spend 20, 30 grand, you might be able to get a 911 convertible. You might be able to get a Porsche convertible for 20, 30 grand. If you pick the right year. I'm a
I love
little
convertible mini. I love the
the
mini.
mini, the mini, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
mini convertible, absolutely.
yeah,
You could do that.
yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of options out there. And a lot of
Yeah.
convertibles people do garage keep. So sometimes you can find a 10-year-old unit that's garage kept that somebody was using as an occasional use vehicle, and it'll
Mhm.
just be in immaculate condition, and you get a
Yeah.
lot of car for the money.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
So,
true that sometimes you have, at least in the with the mini, we have sometimes expensive repairs. In fact, we have one in San Diego, and we had I think a $500 repair on last year or something. I don't remember what was it, but we have
yeah,
quite
that's
expensive.
not that expensive on a car, $500 repair. When you said
Yeah.
expensive, I thought you were talking 2 or 3,000. You take a
Oh,
BMW in and have anything done to it, and you're going to be, usually in the thousands. So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. All right, we've got a couple more comments here. Carlos, nice tan after your holiday. And that's from Tim. And the Frederick Hub says, after war, armed with pens instead of swords, both men trained as lawyers spent the balance of their lives attempting to justify their actions and restore their reputation, whatever all that means. Okay. We get some bizarre comments in here sometimes, Carlos. Stig says, Carlos, it is good to see you back safe and sound. There are things here. Things are getting difficult, says Stig. Many is
Yeah.
owned by BMW. Yeah, that could be an issue.
But in Europe, you can see that now the cases are going high, but it seems that the therapeutics is going much better, and the deaths is nothing compared with what happened in March and April. I think that
Yeah, I
we are
think that
we are on the really good
yeah,
way. I have
I think that most healthy people survive. I think that it's people that are 80 years and up that have pre-existing conditions. I think those are mostly the fatalities, and probably most of those people have already died from it that are going to die from it. They've been clear cut, so that's kind of where we are.
it's they weren't able to configure correctly ventilator, and also the hydroxychloroquine goes well. It seems that there are other therapeutics with things like vitamin D, and also with some kind of hormones. It seems that it is looking good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's looking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously, yeah, they've made some improvements, but I think the thing has never really been that deadly for anybody that's been healthy. I think most of the people in Italy that passed were in nursing homes and had issues and so forth, the elderly. And same thing in New York. They basically slaughtered a lot of the elderly by taking people that were infected and putting them back in the nursing homes. And so they kind of slaughtered them. And so that was where most of our deaths happened, and New Jersey also, and Connecticut, same thing, nursing homes. But most healthy people seem to be handling it fine, so that's the good news. You won't hear any of that from the media, of course. Here's another, I have a question for you. Have you heard about Michael Saylor and
My, no,
the Bitcoin that he's purchased?
no idea.
He purchased 450 million worth of Bitcoin. He owns MicroStrategies, a company called
Yeah,
MicroStrategies.
yeah, I know. MicroStrategy.
Yeah,
That is
it's a
about
publicly traded company.
it. Yeah, business analytics. Yeah, it's a great software, by the way.
It's okay. So anyway, he I guess he owns that company or most of it or whatever. I mean, I think he's worth $3 billion or something. But in any event, he just tweeted out today that he's completed the purchase of $450 million worth of Bitcoin, and he tweeted the amount that he paid for it because he's a publicly traded company, so I guess they have to disclose this, right? And they have to be accurate; they can't lie, right? So according to the numbers that he put out, he spent $11,100 per Bitcoin, which is a premium. It's more than it's trading for right now. It's at like
Yeah,
it's at like 10,800 or something
yeah.
now.
They do over the counter, not on the public trading.
Yeah, but I would have thought he would have gotten a discount. I would have thought if he was buying that much that he could get a better deal, not have to pay more.
Well, it depends, no? If you really want to purchase that amount of Bitcoin, probably only yourself will 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 increase the price a lot, probably.
Well, but what I'm saying is, it seems like to me, if somebody wants to buy that much Bitcoin, there are whales that have a lot of Bitcoin, that are willing to sell at a price. It seems like to me that he wouldn't have to pay over market. I would think he could get a little bit of a discount. If you're buying
Well,
that kind of volume, for gosh sakes, I mean, that was just surprising to me to see that. Because
well,
I thought, hey, he's probably bought it for like 80% of market or something. I thought that he probably got a deal, right? But he paid over 100%.
no.
So,
Well, not sure. the thing, yeah, I tend to think that they did their best negotiation. But what I can think is that if he was really looking forward to purchase it, he would have just go up the market by only his operation. No idea, no idea.
Well,
Yeah, but
you know, and I think he is planning on holding it indefinitely. He's not speculating on it. He is not buying it to flip it or anything like that. So maybe that's the only kind of deal he could do. And marked 5493 says clear clutch Z's. These are human beings. Yeah, they were human beings, and it's so sad what they did in New York to them, and what they did in some of these other areas where they literally slaughtered those people. They
yeah,
knew that those people were at risk, and they took infected folks out of the hospital and sent them back into the nursing home and said, "Here, hope you're okay." I mean and they knew the situation, but they did it. So yeah, that's very, very sad, in my opinion. Just my opinion. They should have
yeah.
never done that.
No, and in Sweden also looks like a kind of euthanasia because a part of the management of how all the old people get infected, it seemed that they neither gave them basic care like oxygen or things to try to have a better condition for them. Yeah, it's something strange.
Yeah. And Stig says, I have to correct myself. Here things are getting difficult, not because of the I guess he says disease, he means, but because of the politicians and the press. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the same thing here in the U.S. Things aren't going to get better here until after the election. they're going to
Yeah.
keep they're going to keep milking this thing as best they can for as long as they can, and the Democrat states are going to stay locked down and blaming it on all. Their whole strategy is stay locked down, cause as much harm as possible to the population, and blame it all on Trump to win the election. That's the Democratic strategy, and they're going to
But
hold that.
have you seen that curiously today, both Biden and Harris, both they did the same mistake. First, Harris referred to Harris administration, and then Biden talked about a Harris Biden administration. Something strange.
Oh, well, first of all, Biden doesn't know whether he's coming or going. He doesn't know. I really think he's in the early stages of dementia. I think he's
Yes.
not all there.
Yeah, to me looks really bad, but I have some friends that are Democrats here, and sometimes I hike with them in the morning,
Hmm.
and I always ask the same. Yes, I get that you hate Trump, but independently on how you hate Trump, do you think that Biden is normal? And they say that yes. To me, sounds really strange, but yeah.
Yeah, no,
So
I think he's got some issues. We'll see if he actually does the debate. If he actually does the debate, we might be able to see what's going
yeah.
on. But okay, let's get caught up on the comments here. What's up with these troll accounts? They sound like businesses. Yeah, that's a guy that he's actually local here that has a whole bunch of accounts and so forth, and he's all over the place, always doing all kinds of things. Oh well, entrepreneur, we'll say. I think it would be better to focus. You know what Andrew Carnegie said, Carlos? Andrew Carnegie famously said, "Put all your eggs in one basket, and then watch that basket." And
Hmm.
the reason he said that, he gave a speech about, to a bunch of graduates that were graduating or whatever. And he basically said the biggest problem that most people make is they're not focused.
Yeah.
And they're
Oh,
just scattered all over the place. And his thing was focus on his business, his core business, build it, build it, build it, and not get distracted by a bunch of other things. And I think that makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways. So there you
yeah.
go.
That context makes sense. In that context, makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably from the investing point of view, not that much, but yeah. But
Unless
on
you
that,
get unless you get lucky. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
But
Here, Kevin has a question. Here's a question for you, Craig. When the vaccine for COVID is produced, will you be taking it? Probably not. I generally don't take the flu vaccines or anything like that. I've never really been susceptible to any of that sort of thing, so I probably will not. Fisco Bowser's in the house. Carlos, should Doxa shame Rolex for stealing their dial colors?
well, in fact, yes. I think this is not the steal. I think Rolex time ago they had the Stella dials that are pretty much that colors, but
Mhm.
yeah, I actually like the new colors, and I think that is good for them to give options. I like the yellow specifically,
Mhm.
and for a lady, I would really like the blue, the blue.
Yeah, some of those colors for ladies, absolutely.
Yeah.
Or for somebody in show business or something. Kevin's in the house. I'm shocked that someone's mental well being can even be a topic for a presidential role.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Not if they're a Democrat. If they're a Democrat, you can't question anything. If they're a
Mm.
Republican, you can question everything. That's how that whole thing works, just in case anybody wasn't paying
Yeah.
attention. Stig's in the house.
Yeah.
Carlos, I was in Sweden last week. It was so wonderful. Happy people with no masks
Yeah.
in Sweden.
Mm. Sweden.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Any
a nice
any
country.
any final closing thoughts for us? Anything you want to share about your trip or anything?
Nothing really. As I am in the quarantine, I am starting to prepare the next one, and yeah, I am thinking on going to US by early November, late October.
Hmm.
Maybe one thing that I am considering to do is to do the Appalachians for a week or something. Is something that we want to do, and let's say if I go there, I think that if you want, we can find the opportunity to meet in person.
Well, yeah, sure, absolutely. And by the way, there's some very beautiful areas right near me that
Hmm.
when the leaves are changing,
Hmm.
it's absolutely beautiful. So you want to kind of time your visit for when the fall colors are coming in because that can be very nice. And Skyline Drive is not very far from here as well. It's down in Virginia. About
Yeah.
an hour from here is where it starts in Front Royal, Virginia, which is outside of Washington, D.C. That's where Skyline Drive starts. It's a very scenic drive along the mountain, and a lot of people take that drive to enjoy the leaves and so forth. Goes all the way down to Asheville, North Carolina.
Yeah, we are planning to go to Asheville. Yeah, that is.
Asheville?
Yeah.
Yeah, see the tour of the Biltmore estate?
Ah, yes, yes, I saw it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would tour that and then start there and drive up Skyline Drive
Hmm.
all the way up, just tour all the way through there, and then you'll end up here.
Yeah.
That'd be a
Yeah.
great trip.
There's something that we want to do. Probably our idea. The thing is here. Our son has holidays on the first 2 week of November. They are celebrating the independence of Colombia and Spain,
Hmm.
and because the school is moving, they have one extra week. And yeah, we our plan is to visit our friend and be in our friend's house in Washington and get one more week to do the Appalachians. And yeah, it's something we are starting to plan it.
Is there any way you can swing 2 weeks? Because if you're going from Asheville all the way up, you want to take your time if you can.
I think that we are going to be on the Appalachians about 5 to 6 days,
Okay.
and then around 10 days 12 days in the Washington area.
Now,
That
where
is
in Washington are you going to be staying?
Our friend house, I think that is in Montgomery County.
Okay, that's not far from.
Not exactly down, not exactly where. Don't know. He's working on the city. Vamos.
Yeah, that's not far from here at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
Montgomery County.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for the update. And in 2 days, you say you'll be a free man.
Yes, yes. No,
Okay.
in fact, I am enjoying a lot of the quarantine.
Oh, I can tell.
In fact, being in quarantine give the excuse to be more relaxed. Yeah,
That's right. Absolutely.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
thank you, my friend, and carry
okay. Thank
on.
you, Jack, for everything, and keep
Yes.
your great work.
Yes. All
Thank
right,
you.
Carlos, live from Panama. That's how that works. That's how that works. 5:55. We're coming up on the end of the show. We're gonna catch up on the comments here. And let's see. At the Trump rally, I spoke to a BLM protester, and he admitted that he doesn't care who the candidate is as long as it's not Trump. I told him, so you literally vote for Puppet over Trump. Kevin says he's taking notes. And trolls, watch out. The wrench gang is going on the offensive, says Mr. Bowser. Absolutely. Tim's in the house. What if Biden wins and his dementia gets worse? Who decides when the vice president is to take over? All he has to do is resign, I think, and she automatically takes over. Isn't that how that works? I think so. I think if he resigns, I think she automatically takes over. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I'm pretty sure that'll work that way. All he has to do is resign. They can easily talk him into resigning. They talked him into running, right? They could talk him into resigning. Trump 2020, says Clive. The China bots are taking over the chat. I think that is the plan here, Tim. They want the streetwalker to take over ASAP. And Leon says, Kyle, how about those Padres last night? They beat the Dodgers because they got a better team and spent money for pitching, unlike the Dodgers who have drum roll Kershaw. Okay, got some baseball fans in here. Kyle's in the house. Yeah, the Padres are looking good. Lots of bad plays by the Dodgers last night, though. Okay, and Lance sent a link to a yellow gold 9F. We'll look at that. End of the show, says Derek. No, Kyle Jet says it is called overspending for Kershaw, letting Rue leave and not getting good pitchers to take over when Walker went down. Time to be rid of Kenley as he sucks as a closer. Well, there we go. Leon giving the rundown. Fisto Bowser says Biden will resign as soon as he's inaugurated. There you go, folks. You only get all these sage details on this channel. This is the only place you get these details. These are exclusive to this channel. See what we got here on this watch. Here we go. $22.99 for a gold stunner. Very similar to the watch that I had. I think mine was 35 mils. This is 34, which would be even better for the lovely Lady Bree. Let's add this to the watch list just for fun, just because we can. And let's take a look at these pictures here. Very trim, of course. And a standard clasp on these. Now this one does not have the 4 screws like mine had. So I guess that's a pop-on back, which I actually prefer to the screws. And it has a 17 millimeter strap. Very interesting. Of course, the 9F, which is just a beauty to behold. Now, it does not have a GS on the clasp, but I'm guessing that's an 18 karat gold clasp. So, interesting way to wrap up Oh, I'm not showing it. What the hell am I doing? Sorry, guys. All right, I'm going to have to show that again. I'm going to have to show that again. What the heck was I thinking? Okay, let's go through it here. Da, 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 da. That 9F is an amazing piece of kit. So there you go. That's the piece in question. That is the piece in question. Okay. All right. I am hungry. I didn't have lunch, so I'm going to wrap this puppy up. Let's see. We can't see it, Craig. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm sorry. I blew it on that one. All right. We're going to wrap this puppy up. Oh, let me show the Lady Brianna's website one more time here. And then we will wrap it up. BrieFitDance.com, BrieFitDance.com. You'll find all kinds of links there. I think I'm going to send her some Bitcoin today. I think I'm going to do that. There's a QR code on there. You can send her some Bitcoin right from her page on BrieFitDance.com. Actually, two QR codes for two different accounts you can send it to. You can do that. So on that note, we're going to wrap this puppy up. And Derek, we did talk about a day date earlier. You should have tuned in. You should have tuned in. Time check. It's officially after the hour. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Click subscribe and click the little bell for notifications.